All right, since we are halfway into the season, I think it's time we do two things. One, make some predictions, which I love to do. Prediction time. Prediction time is where I plant my little flag into my take, and for the rest of the season, I defend that flag in that take for the rest of the way. That's when I get super fucking annoying. That's when I literally scream that the Bucks are the most overrated team to ever make the finals. That's where I say crazy things. That's when I say Ben Simmons is a bum, Utah Jazz aren't doing shit. Things that are true, but things that are very inflammatory. That is happening. That is happening starting now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to survey the NBA landscape and give you my leaders on who I think will win all of the major awards this year. Cue the haters in the comment section. Nothing they love more than them telling me that I'm wrong, when in reality, if you let the time set in and you just wait for the clock to tick, tock, tick, I'm usually right. I'm usually right. At the end of the day, haters are going to hate, so let's do it. Let's start with the babies. The ones that are just taking their first little baby steps. Rookie of the year. My rookie of the year is everyone's rookie of the year, I think. Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley maybe was one of my worst takes I've ever had. I have a thing against the Pac-12. I have a thing against Pac-12 quarterbacks, and I certainly have a thing against Pac-12 big men. You got a big man, 7 feet, quote-unquote athletic, coming out of the University of Southern California. And I thought to myself, and by the way, the Cleveland Cavaliers drafted him, which you knew was a recipe at that point, I thought, was a recipe for disaster. Just the fact that the Sacramento Kings take someone, just the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers take someone means I immediately downgrade them in my mind. Smart franchise takes him, I'm like, ooh, Golden State likes Evan Mobley, which is also sometimes a farce, like James Wiseman. But I don't trust you, Cleveland, and I don't trust you, USC. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Evan Mobley's getting 34 minutes a game as a rookie with all 7-footers. I thought to myself, oh, they got Jared Allen as an insurance policy for Evan Mobley not working out. Or they didn't know that they were going to get Evan Mobley and they traded for Jared Allen, and all of a sudden, here we are. One of them's going to play, one of them's going to sit. Why would you pay Jared Allen all that money? You extended him. You have Evan Mobley now. Is Evan Mobley not that good? No, folks, they're playing them at the same goddamn time. 2 7-footers playing 2 different roles, functioning in symbiosis. Just beautiful basketball being played. He's played 34 minutes, like I said, a game as a rookie. He's averaging 15, 8, and 3. Offensively good, defensively elite. He's averaging 1.8 blocks and 1 steal per game as a fucking rookie. His defensive rating, 103. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. His greatest strength as a defender is he's 7 feet tall and doesn't get cooked by guards. That's great. That's incredible. That's actually what makes Lauri Markkanen so good too, is these guys aren't getting, it's usually tween, gone. You're past these 7-footers. You're at the rim, and then as a defender, you then, as the Evan Mobley of the world, you wait for them to go past you, and then you try to block them. No, he stays in front of all these guards, which to me is one of the most impressive things. And I love Giannis, DPOY, he won that award. He gets cooked by guards all the time. At this point in this season, Evan Mobley ranks 3rd among anchor bigs in positional versatility per Basketball Index. So, that's just tremendous. He can do anything. He can guard guards. He's not that weak in terms of guarding centers either. He can get cooked by a thicker guy say a Giannis, but nobody can guard Giannis. At 19 years old, Mobley is already one of the best switching big men in the league. He's a fucking rookie. And that's the key to everything that Cleveland's doing. If Evan Mobley is not there, this Cleveland Cavaliers team is exactly where they were the year before. Yes, Lauri Markkanen's a nice piece. Yes, Ricky Rubio was a nice piece. But without Evan Mobley, I don't think this thing goes. He is now the 5th player in history with at least 50 assists and 30 blocks over his first 20 games. That's insane. JJ Redick said this: Evan Mobley is unbelievable defensively. I do not think people are realizing or talking about it. Maybe JJ Redick needs to tune in to Heat Check, because we've been talking about this thing since pretty early on. He said, this guy is a future defensive player of the year. I watched 20 minutes of YouTube highlights of Evan Mobley's defense. He does everything, including switching on to smaller guards. He basically is everyone wanted James Wiseman to be. Like, James Wiseman is not this. Like, he's not this. He's not as smart. He's not as versatile. He's not as skilled offensively. He's not as skilled defensively. He is not. And yes, James Wiseman can shoot the three. Yes, James Wiseman's 7 feet tall. Yes, he's lean and lanky, but they are not the same players. James Wiseman is barely scratching the surface in terms of his upside. He just started playing basketball. Like, he's played, 10 games for Memphis. Like, what are we doing here? So Evan Mobley also amazing at cutting to the basket in right moments and decisively. He sees Jared Allen in the elbow and immediately dives for lobs, for dunks, for layups. Like, he can hit a turnaround jumper. He is so good, so much better than I could have ever imagined him being. Scottie Barnes needs consideration as well. He's plus 360 to win it. Don't think he's going to get it, but he had an early case. He had COVID, then he had a knee injury, but that's pretty much all she wrote. Some argue that his real upside is as a six-man. Can't win Rookie of the Year if your upside is six-man. Right. Just can't. One of the biggest surprises in his time as a Raptor is really just he is a real point guard, shot creator. Well, real point guard in the age of 2020. Shot maker. He can score with a bunch of different low post moves, floaters, and he can play the guard position and play out on the perimeter. If he increases his ability to shoot the three, a la, say, Ja Morant has, different size, but same skill set to a degree, I think he could turn into a really nice piece. Nurse continuously implores Barnes to be more aggressive and to raise his average field goal attempts per game. So, he's just a baby. Totally different situations. Another one for consideration for Rookie of the Year. Another huge surprise is my guy. If people are going to be like, oh, why didn't you talk about Cade? I don't want to talk about Cade. I just don't. I'm going to talk about Franz Wagner. Biggest surprise of the year by far. You're Wagner. You should be not good. You should not be good. You're brothers with Mo Wagner. Pretty much all. If you're a basketball fan, you know what I mean. I think everybody actually thought that. Not just me. Not just the hater in me. Everybody's like, oh, Franz Wagner, plays a different game, but, he is still Mo Wagner's, blood brother. He has logged 35 games for the Magic, logged over 1,100 minutes before any of the rookies reached 1,000. So he is getting significant time, even with guys like Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz. Those guys have been out of the rotation, and so Wagner has showed off his abilities as a primary ball handler. Didn't think that was possible. I really thought Franz Wagner was a corner shoot guy. I just thought he would just shoot a bunch of threes. You would just kick out to him. Maybe he would slash. But no, he's now killing his PRA props. His PRA props sometimes are in the 30s, and he's smashing that. I think I didn't take it the other night, and he had 38 points or something bonkers like that. He has been awesome. And I don't think anyone predicted that he would be this good off the dribble, but he's shown that not only is he a good off-the-ball player, and he's not going to blow by anyone, but he's really good at angles. He's a smart player. Cue the German stereotypes, but he knows how to use angles, use math to get by his defenders, and offensively he works really well without the ball, which is huge. Not a lot of players like to move their bodies without the ball. Ask Russell Westbrook about that. He does a good job of getting off screens and making cuts, getting easy layups to the basket. He's a good spot-up shooter. And it's almost practically impossible to contest his shot when he's in the air because he's so long. He can guard really well. He can keep up with anyone on the court on the defensive end. And if his opponent ever beats him to the rim, he's great at still, like I said, when guys get cooked, you got to figure out a way after the fact to get a block up. And that's what he does. He's getting good contests even when he gets cooked, which is huge. Josh Giddey been really surprising at how good he is as well. 11, 8, and 6, but the numbers really don't tell the whole story. He was just named Rookie of the Month with my man Franz Wagner. Became the youngest player to get a triple-double. He has recorded 6 double-doubles. That's crazy. Youngest player to ever record a triple-double in history. Recording 6 double-doubles. Of those 6, 2 games have come with just rebounds and assists. So, the guy doesn't even need to get buckets to make impact. Wow. He started 32 games this year for OKC. He has, in my opinion, been one of the reasons that OKC says, all right, well, maybe we won't tank this year. Josh Giddey, Shea, maybe they need to, let him compete. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We don't need to, actively try to lose games. And Sam Presti's probably salivating at how many first-round picks he can get for Josh Giddey right now. You can probably get 4 first rounds for Josh Giddey when he turns 22. And then my next favorite, I can go past, Jalen Green. He's been good. He's had a rough start, but, he's been fun to watch. Chris Duarte was a nice little piece in the beginning, and then he got COVID and cooled off. But to me, the last player I really want to highlight is Herb Jones. Herb Jones. And I don't mean oregano. I mean, that's his name, Herb. He is becoming beloved in New Orleans. Not only because he's 6'8" and he can be a 3-and-D wing, but he can actually, read the floor. He can see plays before they happen, and that is exactly what separates him from the other players, not only in his class, but at his position. He currently leads, here's an amazing stat, he currently leads all rookies in deflections at 57 and steals at 29. He's second among all rookies in blocks, and that's including Evan Mobley. In the past 3 games, he's racked up a total of 11 steals, joining only Chris Paul as the only rookies in franchise history with 3+ steals in 3 straight games. And he's, again, not 6'1", he's 6'8". So for him to be able to use his body, use his length and wingspan to get steals and to play good defense, it's just tremendous. And on defense right now, he's already been through the gauntlet. He's checked Donovan Mitchell. He's checked Damian Lillard. He's checked Luka Doncic, Paul George, Bradley Beal. Other players who routinely cook. He's had varying levels of success guarding all of them, but and while he's not a lockdown defender, his perimeter defense has been incredible, and that is exactly what Donovan Mitchell said about him. This is what he said. Donovan Mitchell. He is going to be in this league for a very long time. Defensively, he's tough. I want to give him his props. He makes you work and he makes you think. He's a hell of a player, and he makes life hard for scorers like me. Not a lot of players make life difficult on Donovan Mitchell. Let's just say that. He routinely gets his shot off however he wants, whenever he wants, at any time. And I think what's incredible to me is that New Orleans has been trash. They've been awful. But with Herb Jones in the lineup, they've actually been pretty good. When he's on the court, New Orleans, who has been a terrible defensive team, mostly because of Zion, for the last couple of years, with Herb Jones on the court, they have a defensive rating of 104, which is equivalent of top 5 in the league. When he's not on the floor, their defensive rating drops to 114.5, which is just slightly better than the league worst. So he is making a huge difference. And he's not just a savvy defensive player. That's the thing that I think he's getting all the credit for. But now there's new articles coming out actually Herb Jones is a bucket as well. Quick first step, can put the ball on the floor, he can slash, he can pass. He can actually be used the way that they want to use Zion, as a point forward. Then he's probably going to end up on the all-rookie team. A few games ago, he had this silly stat line that needs to be discussed. Silly. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, 2 threes, 10 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 4 for 4 free throws, and 0 turnovers. That is some efficient basketball, folks. Yeah, those are my rookies of the year. Like I said, I would give the nod, and I wouldn't put my money there just because it's minus 110, which means you get only 90% of your money back. But Evan Mobley, you got to give that man his flowers, and he's going to win it unless he gets some sort of catastrophic injury, knock on wood.